So Caitlin Clark's signature PE Kobe Bryant shoes came out today. Look like Caitlin Clark sneakers just sold out 10 damn minutes. And your boy John Liquidator tried to get a pair, man, but unfortunately I did not have a raffle.
Caitlin Clark's signature Kobe Bryant sneakers dropped and vanished within seconds. Just 13,000 pairs were released. They were gone in under 1 minute. Nike's website nearly crashed. Social media exploded.
The biggest thing I want everybody to hear me say right now. It's about.
Yeah.
That's right. You can believe that if you want. But it is. And here we are, almost 30 years later, to have another Black woman to have her own signature shoe. I'm not looking at you right now. That's big.
Sale prices skyrocketed past $500 almost instantly. There were no teaser trailers. No celebrity influencer rollouts. Just a single photo from Clark, and that was enough to spark a frenzy. People lined up around the block. Stores were mobbed. And Clark barely said a word. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson, the reigning MVP and arguably the most dominant player in the WNBA, watched her signature
news. Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye. And a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlin as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlin more, and then obviously with this shoe release they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than
sneakers quietly slide to the clearance section. This wasn't supposed to happen. Nike had spent years developing Wilson's line, personal logos, deep family symbols.
Now I can't say shipping gonna be the fastest on these third-party little sites, but man, so we quite essentially know that Nike released the shoe, right? Nike released the shoe this morning for $190. That was the going rate for the signature sneaker. Now, I'm here to tell you, as you guys can see right here on Google, just type in Caitlin Clark Kobe 5. StockX, currently right now, they're going for $345. On go.
Custom artwork, and even a commercial directed by Malia Obama. They positioned her to be the face of women's basketball. But when her shoes launched, there was no national buzz. No viral campaigns.
So many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get the shoe. I also heard that Nike stocked about 14,000 of these, and that is an unconfirmed report, but they sold out in less than a minute. If that's any indication of what a Caitlin Clark signature shoe will do, I think Nike better continue to get on it and get ready to launch this brand for Kate.
No lines. No sellout. Then Caitlin Clark showed up.
All this was done while the shoes being developed, while the collection's being done. To demonize Caitlin Clark and try to label her as a privileged white girl that's getting all the privileges, even though she earned everything she got. This ain't about color. This is about good and bad. And I honestly find this a little evil. I find this evil. This is beyond bad, because you had the ability to speak up and say, hey, everybody, relax. Don't get on Caitlin Clark. She got a shoe deal. That's cool. I got one too. Mine's taking a little bit, but it's going to come out. Just be patient. She could have came out and said that, but she...
A rookie. No signature line. No custom logo. Just a pair of modified Cobes. And she broke the women's sneaker market in less than 60 seconds. Now Wilson is furious. And she's not alone. There's growing tension, not just between two athletes, but between two visions of the league. Some say Clark is benefiting from privilege. Others argue she earned every bit of her success. But the truth might be even more uncomfortable for the WNBA and Nike. Clark didn't beg for attention. She just delivered.
I lost all respect for A'ja Wilson. I don't want to hear her opinions. I don't care what she has to say from this point on. When you keep a Nike deal 2 years in secret while you're spewing all that crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark in the Time magazine, read it. read what she said in the Time magazine, yet you had a Nike deal the whole entire time? Despicable.
Night after night, hitting deep threes, breaking viewership records, and generating more money than anyone else in women's basketball. She turned Iowa into a national basketball powerhouse and brought in over $80 million in economic impact for the state. And now, she's selling out sneakers faster than any woman in sports history. Former Nike execs are even admitting it publicly. They almost let their golden goose slip away. And
Caitlin Clark, Kobe 5 Pro Show. I can't wait to get a pair. This season can still be a thriller. Going back to Michael Jackson's Thriller video, where you get the twinkle in his eyes as well as he turns to a vampire at night.
as Clark becomes the face of the brand, Wilson is left wondering where it all went wrong. Her frustration isn't just about sneakers, it's about being sidelined after years of dominance. The WNBA was supposed to be hers. The marketing was hers. The spotlight was hers. Until Caitlin Clark showed up and changed everything. Caitlin Clark's latest Nike release sold out in under...
That's why they hate her. That's why they don't know why they don't like her on the inside. They wish that Angel Reese was this. That's their poster child. That's their ghetto superstar. And yeah, Caitlin Clark is hitting the threes and going and being a regular person. Down to earth. She seemed like a cool chick. She ain't got a chip on her shoulder, running around. She just hitting threes. And I'm glad that she's doing it because you cannot deny her
60 seconds. Not hours. Seconds. Only 13,000 pairs were made available to the public, and they vanished almost instantly. No influencer campaigns. No teaser trailers. Just a single promo image.
I'll say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they had been tweeting about Caitlin more. And then obviously with the shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on the shoe. I also heard that Nike stocked about 14,000 of these, and that is an unconfirmed report. But they sold out in less than a minute. If that's any indication of what a Caitlin Clark signature shoe will do, I think Nike better continue to get on it and get ready to launch this brand for Caitlin.
The word spread like wildfire. Social media erupted. Nike's website buckled. And resale prices shot up past $500 overnight. It was, by every metric, one of the most successful sneaker launches in women's sports history. But behind the scenes,
I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye. But when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo in her eye. And as you know, Kobe's nickname was the Black Mamba.
the fallout was immediate. Aya Wilson, two-time MVP, Olympic gold medalist, and Nike athlete, had spent years building her own brand. Custom designs, symbolic tributes, and even a campaign directed by Malia Obama. Yet her signature line barely made a dent in the market. Shelves stayed stocked. Sales stagnated. And soon, reports suggested many of her shoes were headed to the clearance rack. Wilson was furious, and she had every reason to be. Because the spotlight she fought for was now shining on someone else. TV ratings have soared by over 300% since Clark entered the league. Her games average
2021. It is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature.
1.2 million viewers, more than most NHL playoff games. Her return game? It drew nearly 3 million. In just one season, she's responsible for
TV ratings are up 300%. Since Caitlin Clark entered the league, her games averaged 1.2 million viewers. Her return game peaked at 2.8 million viewers on ABC, one of the highest ever. This is in the middle of a random game in the season. She's featured nearly half of the most watched WNBA games, period. And I would argue that she brought a lot of attention to the league in and of itself, not just her. Clark is responsible for 26% of all WNBA economic activity. She's expected to help drive $875 million to $1 billion in 2025 revenue. The Fever's franchise value jumped from $900 million to $340 million. Oh my God, they need to pay this girl. Forget that little salary they paying her. She need to get NBA money.
More than a quarter of all WNBA economic activity. Let that sink in. One player, 26% of the league's economic movement. She's expected to help push the WNBA's revenue near the $1 billion mark in 2025. The Indiana Fever's franchise valuation has nearly quadrupled since she was drafted. So yes, she may be a rookie, but Clark is moving the culture and the dollars like no one else. Nike was slow to back her. Some insiders admit the brand almost missed the opportunity entirely. For years, they had been grooming others, Aya Wilson among them, to carry the torch. But the truth is, charisma can't be manufactured. Wilson campaigned for the crown. Clark? She earned it. That's not a slight on Wilson's talent. But Clark didn't need press releases or politics. She just needed a court, a ball, and a pair of sneakers. And the fans took care of the rest. Signed by the Indiana Fever to mentor Caitlin Clark, Bonner was supposed to be the veteran leader, the calming presence through a whirlwind season. But from day one, things felt off. She struggled to produce on the court, averaging just 2.6 points per game while shooting an abysmal 2-4-12 from the field. Then came the vanishing act. Bonner missed 5 straight games for personal reasons. But those close to the team knew the truth. She was angry about being benched. When head coach Stephanie White promoted Lexi Hull into the starting lineup, Bonner didn't respond with leadership. She disappeared. Eventually, she asked for a trade, but there was no interest.
In the WNBA, can this take place? DeWanna Bonner quitting on her team. Folks, people ask for trades all the time in the NBA and the NFL. All the time it happens. DeWanna Bonner quit on her team. The Fever front office run cover for her. Yet in some deluded, self-entitled way, she has the audacity to manipulate this situation, somehow throw it on the fans, and ask for an apology.
Not one team in the WNBA wanted her. Not even for free. Why? Because Bonner had been calling around the league, telling teams not to claim her. She was trying to engineer a backdoor move to Phoenix, where her wife Alyssa Thomas plays. It was a power play gone wrong. Not even Phoenix, who feared her presence would disrupt their locker room chemistry. With that, Bonner went from—
Oh, so Bonner's gone. DeWanna Bonner's gone. Snake oil saleswoman Stephanie White. You know, oh, we're in constant communication. She's good. She's day to day. Snake oil saleswoman. Snake oil saleswoman is there.
Respected veteran to cautionary tale. A player once praised for her professionalism became a symbol of entitlement and abandonment. For Clark,
well, I don't want to come off the bench is not enough. Is not a personal issue. Well, I don't like my role. Like that genuinely, is like, it's just not good enough.
Trail cut deep. She had looked up to Bonner. She needed guidance through one of the most intense rookie seasons in league history. But when things got tough, Bonner quit. And then she tried to spin it like it was a mutual decision. The fans weren't buying it. It's about a cultural shift. For years, the WNBA has struggled to grow. Now, with Clark, it's finally breaking through. She's not just the future of the league, she's already the most bankable name in it. She moves product. She moves viewership. She moves public opinion. And that makes some people very, very uncomfortable. Some say Clark is getting special treatment. Others say she's the victim of resentment. But whatever side you're on, the numbers are
Bonner was ruled out by the Fever due to personal reasons, of course. 6-time All-Star was averaging. Okay, we know what she was averaging. Multiple sources told Front Office Sports that the fit in Indiana was off from the beginning. Bonner, who was signed to be an anchor with championship experience for the team's young core, was expected to be a starter. The Fever declined to
undeniable. Is Aya Wilson being unfairly pushed aside, or is Nike finally backing the right horse? And what about DeWanna Bonner? Was she disrespected, or did she self-destruct? Whatever your
fit with the rotations of the team, she's upset that Lexi Hall took her spot. That's the truth. Little blonde girl Girl from next door took her spot. That's what it was. Well, Lexi Hall is a good basketball player. I think she earned that spot, in my opinion, and she's shooting very well from three. She's an excellent 3-point shooter this season. She's a sniper this season. And she hustles. She gets rebounds. She gets steals. She puts her heart out every single.
Answer is, one thing's for sure, the WNBA has changed. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just release a sneaker. She sent a message. When DeWanna Bonner left the Indiana Fever, she didn't just walk out the door, she left a crater in the middle of a team.
Athletic put it out, breaking news, the Fever have waived veteran DeWanna Bonner. The team announced. Indiana looked at trade possibilities for the six-time All-Star, who had not played since June 10th, for what the team called, quote, personal reasons. Well, the personal reasons were, from what I could tell, playing time is what I knew when I pulled her stats up last night.
Team already struggling to stay afloat. A veteran expected to anchor the paint had vanished, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The locker room was stunned. The team spiraled. And just when things looked darkest, Indiana made their boldest move yet. They brought back Ari McDonald. McDonald had been signed earlier in the season on a short-term hardship contract, filling in while Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were sidelined. In just 3 games, she averaged 11 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. She didn't know the system. She didn't need to. She brought energy. She brought heart. And more than anything, she brought fight. Fans instantly connected with her. Teammates respected her. And when she was let go, temporarily, just to make room for returning starters, the disappointment was real. But when that 10-day window closed, the Fever didn't hesitate. Ari was back. Fever general manager Amber Cox said it best, "She's the perfect fit for what we're building here." McDonald took charges. She played defense. She watched film. She prepared. She wanted to be there. She made that clear. It was everything Bonner wasn't. Bonner sulked. McDonald hustled. Bonner walked away. McDonald...
Most players with salaries comparable to Bonner's will likely be off limits in a trade. A package could end up including more than one player to clear enough cap space. Look, in my opinion, it will be really a bad decision for the Atlanta Dream and the Mercury to even get involved, fam. You are thriving right now. There is no reason for you to mess up what you have. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. If they are going to mess up anything within those organizations, they are losing their mind, man.
And toward the moment. She didn't complain about Clark's spotlight, she embraced it. And that's when the message became clear, this wasn't just a roster change. It was a cultural shift. The WNBA is divided. On one side, veterans who spent years grinding in the shadows.
Was a notice that was put out to other teams to not claim DeWanna Bonner because she prefers to sign with the Mercury. Now, this was so interesting, but not shocking. Obviously, her wife, Alyssa Thomas, plays for the Phoenix Mercury, and I'm sure they would love to play together. But it's interesting in the sense that the Mercury are doing great this season. They are actually 3rd in the standings, and they would have to cut somebody in order to pick up DeWanna Bonner. The Mercury would need to cut one player to stay under the WNBA's league-mandated 12-player roster maximum. Sources have indicated that the Mercury signing Bonner is not set in stone, given the potential it has to disrupt a strong dynamic developing among Phoenix's.
Waiting for the world to notice. On the other, a new wave, led by Caitlin Clark, who didn't ask for the spotlight but earned it by sheer force of performance. Bonner wasn't just upset about minutes. Insiders say she couldn't accept the shift happening right in front of her. A rookie, just 22 years old, was now the center of the universe. Sold-out arenas. Primetime slots.
A quitter? Nah. Never been that. But when the time comes, let's just make sure the apologies are just as loud as the disrespect in due time. DB, the only people that have been disrespected around here are the fans. The only people that deserve an apology around here are the fans. The only person that did the disrespecting around here, you. The only person that needs to apologize for their behavior around here, that's you, DB.
Millions of fans. Suddenly, the vets weren't the main characters anymore, and that was a hard pill to swallow. Instead of adapting, Bonner resisted. She aligned with players who had shown open disdain for Clark. including, allegedly, Brittany Griner, who reportedly used a slur after fouling out against her. Bonner may not have said it out loud, but her actions made it clear she didn't want to be part of the Clark era. And yet, she cashed in on it. She signed with Indiana knowing the cameras would follow Clark. She smiled for Media Day, played in sold-out venues, gave interviews. And the moment she lost control of the narrative, she disappeared. Even worse, it may have all been premeditated. Reports now suggest Bonner planned her exit all along, signing with Indiana not to mentor Clark, but to bide her time until the Phoenix Mercury cleared cap space. The goal? Reunite with her wife, Alyssa Thomas, in Phoenix, and do it on her terms. But the plan backfired. Bonner waived her $200,000 contract, only to land a minimum deal worth $78,000. She lost over $120,000 trying to orchestrate her escape. The league stayed silent. No one defended her. Not even her friends. And that silence spoke volumes. The implications are massive. If a player can fake a personal issue, ghost a team, and force their way to a preferred destination with—
At the end of the day, look, I'm not annoyed about her wanting to leave. I'm actually not annoyed about her wanting to leave. Because she's a waste of $200K right now. I'm annoyed about her taking 6 games off, and then all of a sudden, when more questions are asked about why she's gone, and people are fearing the worst, it turns out she just wants to get out of there. You have people fearing the worst for her family. You have people fearing the worst for everything. You have people saying that they hope everything's good with Tawana Bonner. It turns out she apparently is just